Hi all. So let's start with the abstraction. So what is this abstraction? Okay. So if you see this abstraction has one word in its beginning that is called abstract. Okay. So what does this mean? Okay. Abstract basically means a very, in simple terms, it's an idea. Okay. Idea. Okay. And our entire object oriented principles is based on this abstraction. Okay okay so uh, if you need to define abstraction, so it would be something like this, like representing a complex software system, okay, in terms of ideas. Okay, in terms of ideas. Okay, so uh, what are these ideas? Okay, see, ideas can be two things. Okay, so idea is something that has an attribute, that means it has some data, or it has some behaviors associated with it. Okay, behavior means some kind of actions. Okay, so this is called abstraction. Okay, and and the third point will be others need not know, okay, the internal working of these ideas. So let's see an example of abstraction. So you all might be using Teams in your daily life. Okay, suppose you want to schedule a meeting with the Teams. Okay, suppose here this Teams gives you an abstract representation of by a UI how to schedule a meeting. Okay, so here you need not be worried about the internal workings of this. Okay, there are some internal working of this, like this may be connected to a database, okay, which stores the team's meeting information and all. So you need not to be worried about the internal workings here. Okay, the team simply provides you a abstract UI where you need to schedule the invite. Okay, so this is an example of abstraction. Okay, you need. Okay, so the next topic is encapsulation. Okay, to understand encapsulation, okay, so likewise you need to focus on the first word in this complete word, that is encapsule. Okay, so whenever someone asks you encapsulation, always think about a medicine. Okay, so this is a capsule. Okay, so what properties does this capsule have? Okay, first of all, if you see, these capsules are small individual medicines within it. Okay, and this small individual medicines is combined uh, within a large capsule. Okay, so the first point will be it holds the smaller medicines. Okay, the second point will be, so what will be the second point? Okay, what will be the second point? Suppose there would not have been a capsule to hold the smaller medicines, and the smaller medicines would have been spread out everywhere. So what would happen? Okay, so the external environment may damage those medicines. Okay, so the second point will be protection from external factors. Okay, so second point will be protection from external factors. Okay, so if a medicine is encapsulated, so the salts or the chemicals within it won't get disturbed. Okay, so this, by taking this example, okay, and these things exactly happen in object oriented programming. Okay, so what does this encapsulation helps to achieve? The first point is, uh, as I said, it holds the smaller medicines or salts. Okay, So the first point will be it holds the data plus its actions together. Okay, by taking the example from the first point, it holds the data and the actions together. Okay, and the second point, what would be, if you take the example from the second point discussed above, okay, it protects the data from unwanted access. Okay, and how do we achieve this? So there is something called access modifiers, okay, by which we achieve this. Okay, so let's proceed. Okay, so let's move to another the next topic. So that is class. So what's a class? Okay, so class is nothing but the blueprint of an idea. Okay, it's a way to represent the abstraction concepts which we studied earlier. Okay, so this is nothing but a blueprint. Okay, blueprint of an idea. Okay, so what's a blueprint? So blueprints look something like this. Okay, it looks something like this. Okay, so this is a house. So this is the in a simple term, this is a map of a house. You have kitchen, you have living room, you have bedroom, you have washroom. Okay, you have storage. Okay, so this is a class is something like a map of an house. So what properties do this map of the house have? Okay, that the first main thing is it doesn't actually exist. Okay, it doesn't exist. Okay, it's simply a map. Okay, uh, the second what would be the second property? Okay, it's a map, so it doesn't takes up any space in the earth. Okay, doesn't takes up space. Of course, to store this map in your cupboard, it will take some space, but actually it doesn't take up space or land. What will be the third property of this blueprint or map? Like, by using this, okay, you can create multiple houses, multiple real houses. Okay, okay. So you have a blueprint of or a map of a house. What you can do is uh, you can create one house in Bombay. Okay, you can create another house in Kolkata. Okay, you can create another house in Delhi. Okay, you can create another house in Delhi. Okay, this all of these houses would look same. Okay, but what's happening within the house will change or will be different. Okay, but all these houses will look the same. Okay, okay, so by using the concept which we analyzed from a real blueprint of a house, let's see what would be the property of a class. Okay, what would be the always uh, to learn concept, like associate with it with real examples. Okay, real life examples, so it will be easier for you to understand. So we created a map and we derived its properties. So let's compare it and see how it matches with the properties of a class. Okay, what would be the property of a class? It doesn't take space in RAM. Okay, okay, this is not a real entity. Okay, uh, and the third point, we can create multiple instances of a class. Okay, so if you compare this with the above 3 points, it doesn't exist, so class also doesn't exist, it doesn't take space in RAM. Okay, and it doesn't exist, so this is not a real entity. Okay, this is simply a blueprint. Okay, and as I said, like by using this blueprint we can create the same house in any location. So we can create multiple instances of a class. This is achieved by using objects. So let's move to the next topic. Okay, that is this objects. Okay, uh, what is objects? Object is a real instance of a class. Okay, uh, okay, and this will occupy space in RAM. Okay, RAM means memory. Okay, okay. The third and the most important point of an object is object is independent. Okay, object is independent. Okay, uh, it has no dependency on the other object of the same class. Like if you see the above example, like with this blueprints you can create real house in Bombay, Kolkata and Delhi. Okay, but these houses are completely different from the other. These houses are completely unrelated to each other. Okay, although they will look same, but they are present at different locations. Okay, so these are present at different locations. So what's happening inside these houses are completely different. Okay, so let's move to the last topic of today, that is access modifiers. Okay, what are access modifiers? Like we have talked in encapsulations that um, the access modifiers helps in restricting, okay, access to data and behaviors. Okay, access modifier helps in to restrict access to data and behaviors. Okay, and this is the main point for encapsulations. Okay, so what kind of access modifiers do we have? There are two main access modifiers, that is public and private. Okay, there are other two also, that is protected and default. Okay, these two are important. Okay, I am talking in relation to Java. Okay, so let's see uh, what how the access modifiers are arranged in Java. Okay, so I'm arranging this based on the strictness. So the first access modifier has the highest strictness and it goes on decreasing. Okay, first we have private, next we have default. Okay, next we have protected. Okay, the last we have public. Okay, okay, so it goes this way. Okay, the first being the highest strict, public being the lowest strict. Okay, so uh, how does private behave within the same class? Okay, do they behave in the same folder? Okay, and how do they behave in child class in same folder? How they behave in child class in other folder? and how they behave anywhere. Okay. Okay. So within the same class, for private access modifier, you can access the data and the attributes. Sorry, data, attributes, and the behavior. It's not accessible in the same folder. It's not accessible the child in the child class in the same folder. It's not accessible in child class in the other folder. It's not accessible anywhere. Okay. What do default do? So default is nothing if you don't mention any access modifiers, so that becomes the default. So within the same class, the data and the behaviors are accessible. Okay. In the same folder, it's accessible. A child class in the same folder, it's accessible. Child class in other folder, it's not accessible. Anywhere, it's not accessible. Okay. What is protected? In protected, similarly, this is accessible. This is accessible. This is accessible. This is accessible. This is not. Okay. And in public, everything is accessible. Okay. So whatever we studied just now, so let's understand through the code. Okay, this is very important. Let's understand whatever everything that was discussed here through code. Okay, it's very important that you please watch this. Okay, like you would be more clear. Okay, so let's see how this is achieved through code. Okay. I have a main class. Within that main method, I have created an object of the solution class. Okay, so there are two objects created, solution 1 and solution 2, and this solution class has a print method, and we are simply calling that here. Okay, so let's debug and see like what is happening here. Okay, so let's debug and see what is happening here. So I'm entering into debug mode. Okay, so uh, so you see the objects are created here. So the sol1 object is at this location. Okay, okay, and if you see the sol2 objects is at this location, although they are of the same class, but you see these objects occupy uh, different uh, places in memory. Okay, so although they are same, but there are different locations. Okay, so if I do sol1.print, so it prints the value, and if I do sol2.print, so it prints the value. Okay, so hello there, hello there. Okay, so but the main thing which you saw here is although these objects belong to the same class, they occupy different places in the memory. They are actually different. Okay, they are completely unrelated to each other. Okay, this access modifiers part through an example. Let's take this private first. So within the same class, all data and its behaviors are accessible. Okay, so we have a student class with age as 21, student name as Arpita, and we are simply, this is a put function, we'll discuss that later, and this is a print function. Okay, we are printing this name. So if we do this private, okay, so this is within the same class, so this should be accessible. So this is a main function, and we are ignore this as of now. Okay, so this is, we are creating a object of the student card, and we are calling the print method. Okay, so let's execute and see. So here the private members are accessible within the same class. Okay, so let's see what is if the private members are accessible within the same folder. So here is the learning folder, and we have created a student class. Let's create a class called Priyanka. Okay, and it extends the students class. Okay, uh, and we are simply printing the values of student name and student age. So immediately you see there is a problem. Okay, here it's writing what? So here it's writing the problem is uh, okay, let's execute and see like what's happening. Okay, okay, so before that let's create an object of Priyanka. Okay, and let's try to print this. Okay, so if you execute this, so here it's gives an error that student name has private access in student. Okay, student name has private access in students, so this is not accessible from the child class within the same folder. Okay, learning is the folder and the child class name is Priyanka, and it's not accessible. The child class cannot access the uh, private values of the parent class, that is student, within the same folder. Okay, okay, but if you remove this private, okay, if you remove this private and if you now create an object of Priyanka and try to print that, so it will give hello, my name is Arpita, my age is 21. Okay, so I hope you are able to understand this. So similarly, uh, okay, so child class in the same folder is unable to access the private data members. Okay, so simple, like let me just comment this out. Okay, uh, let me just comment this out also, and I am using the student one. Okay, I am also on commenting this int age and string. Okay, uh, I am commenting out this one. Okay, and I'm using this. Okay, so what it is doing is, so it's creating an object of the student class, and it's trying to put values here. Okay, so this was 21 and Arpita, so this will be 32 and Ravi. Okay, let's print this. Okay, let's check what's the issue. Okay, we are not printing that. Okay, st.print. Okay, okay, so it's printing hello, I am Ravi, my age is 32. Okay, it's avoiding this too. Okay, because we are passing the value of 32 and Ravi here. So what if I make this as private? Okay, what if I make this as private? So within the same folder, okay, within the same folder there are two classes, main and student, and I have made the put function as private in student, so this would not be accessible. If you print it, okay, it's writing put has private access in student, so it's not able to access within the same folder. Okay, I hope you are able to understand. So the next two examples you can try. Okay, the remaining examples also you can try in the same way. Okay, so I hope you like my video. Please comment out if any issues, and please like and subscribe my channel for more such information. Thank you.